Hello and welcome to our channel. Imagine what it would feel like to live a long, healthy and happy life, reaching 100 years of age with energy and clarity. This has been the remarkable story of the people living on the Japanese islands of Okinawa for many generations. But as the modern world brings its fast pace and new habits to their shores, a question arises for all of us. Are these celebrated islanders still holding on to the secrets of their incredible longevity today? In this video, we are going to explore the unique traditions and practices that made Okinawans famous for their long lives. We will then look closely at how they are adapting or perhaps struggling to maintain that famous lifestyle in our current world. The answers we find might just surprise you and offer lessons for your own health and well-being. Before we begin, I have a simple question for you. What is one small thing you do each day that brings you a sense of purpose or joy? It could be tending to a plant, speaking with a grandchild, or enjoying a quiet cup of tea. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would genuinely love to read them. Let's start by understanding why Okinawa became so famous in the first place. For many years, this group of islands in Japan has been known as a blue zone. A blue zone is a special term for a place in the world where people live much longer and healthier lives than average. These are places where reaching the age of 100 is not a rare event, but a celebrated and common part of life. Okinawa stood out as one of the most remarkable of these blue zones, capturing the curiosity of scientists and health experts worldwide. The historical reputation of Okinawa was built on a foundation of exceptional health and an incredibly high number of centenarians, which are people who live to be 100 or older. It was not just about the length of life, but the quality of that life. Okinawan elders were known to be active, engaged in their communities, and free from many of the chronic diseases that affect people in other parts of the world. This remarkable longevity was not due to a single magic pill or a secret fountain of youth. Instead, it was believed to be the result of a lifestyle woven together from several powerful threads. The first and most famous pillar of their health was their traditional diet. This way of eating was very different from what most of us are used to today. It was based largely on plants, with a special focus on vegetables grown in their own gardens. The second pillar was their deep sense of community and strong social connections. People in Okinawa did not live isolated lives. They were part of a supportive network of family and friends from birth until their final days. This social fabric provided emotional strength, a sense of belonging, and practical help whenever it was needed. The third and perhaps most profound pillar was a concept they call ikigai. Ikigai can be translated as a reason for being or a purpose in life. It is the reason you get out of bed in the morning, the thing that gives your life meaning and direction. For the Okinawans, ikigai was often connected to their role in the family, their craft, their contribution to the village, or their spiritual practices. These three pillars, a plant-based diet, a strong community, and a clear sense of purpose, worked together to create an environment where people could thrive for a very long time. This legendary reputation has inspired countless books, documentaries, and health articles over the years. It has given hope to many that a long, healthy life is indeed possible if we follow the right principles. But here is the crucial question that we must ask as we look towards the future. Is this legendary longevity, this beautiful picture of health and well-being, still holding up in the year 2025? As the world has changed, so too has Okinawa, and the answer is far more complex and interesting than you might think. Now let's dive deeper into what was once the cornerstone of Okinawan health, their unique and powerful diet. The traditional Okinawan way of eating was not about counting calories or following complicated rules. It was a simple, natural diet based on what the earth provided. The absolute star of their diet was a vegetable that might surprise you, the purple sweet potato, known locally as beni imo. This was not just a side dish, it was the main source of calories for many Okinawans for generations. Unlike the white potatoes common in Western diets, these purple sweet potatoes are packed with powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins, the same compounds that give blueberries their deep color. These antioxidants act like bodyguards for your cells, protecting them from damage that can lead to aging and disease. Furthermore, The purple sweet potato has a low glycemic index, which means it releases sugar into the bloodstream, slowly and steadily. This is very different from something like white bread, which can cause your blood sugar to spike up and then crash down. Eating foods like the purple sweet potato helps maintain stable energy levels and reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Another key vegetable in their diet was the bitter melon, or goya. As its name suggests, it has a very strong bitter taste that takes some getting used to, but Okinawans treasured it as medicine, and modern science has confirmed its incredible health benefits. Goya contains compounds that can help lower blood sugar, making it another powerful tool in preventing diabetes. It is also very rich in vitamin C. A single serving of bitter melon can contain more vitamin C than an orange, which is essential for a strong immune system. The Okinawan diet was overwhelmingly plant-based, with a large variety of green and yellow vegetables, legumes like soybeans, and different kinds of seaweed. Tofu and other soy products were a primary source of protein, providing a heart-healthy alternative to red meat. A block of firm tofu contains a similar amount of protein to a small chicken breast, but without the saturated fat and cholesterol. They also consumed a lot of seaweed like kombu and wakame, which are incredibly rich in essential minerals that are often lacking in modern diets. For example, seaweed is one of the best natural sources of iodine, a mineral that is crucial for a healthy thyroid gland, the part of your body that controls your metabolism. When it came to meat, especially pork, it was considered a special food, not an everyday item. It was typically consumed in small amounts during celebrations or festivals. An important practice was that when an animal was used for food, no part of it was wasted, which reflected a deep respect for life. This is a world away from the daily consumption of large portions of processed meats that is common in many countries today. One of the most important principles of their diet was not just what they ate, but how they ate. They followed a wise teaching from the philosopher Confucius called hara hachi bu. This simply means eat until you are 80% full. It is a practice of mindful eating, of listening to your body's signals of hunger and stopping before you feel stuffed. This simple habit of slight calorie restriction has been shown in many studies to be one of the most effective strategies for promoting longevity. However, in recent decades, this traditional dietary landscape has been dramatically altered. The influx of Western culture has brought with it convenience stores known as konbini and fast food restaurants, which can now be found all over the island. These establishments offer foods that are the complete opposite of the traditional Okinawan diet. Instead of purple sweet potatoes, younger generations are now eating more white rice, bread, and pastries. Instead of fresh fish and tofu, they are consuming more processed meats, fried chicken, and high-fat dairy products. Sugary sodas and energy drinks have started to replace the traditional jasmine tea. This shift towards a more convenient, processed, and high-calorie diet has had a measurable and concerning impact on the health of the islanders. Health metrics for the younger and middle-aged generations in Okinawa are beginning to look very different from those of their grandparents. Rates of obesity, which were once almost non-existent on the island, are now on the rise and are even higher than the average for mainland Japan. With this rise in obesity has come an increase in related health problems like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes. These are the very diseases that the traditional Okinawan diet helped to prevent for centuries. So while the image of the healthy Okinawan elder still exists, it is a reflection of a diet and a way of life that is slowly fading. The challenge for Okinawa today is a struggle between the wisdom of the past and the convenience of the present. Beyond diet, the secret to Okinawan longevity was deeply rooted in their strong social connections and a shared sense of community. This social fabric was not just a pleasant aspect of their culture, it was a powerful system of support that contributed directly to their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. A central pillar of this social structure is a unique tradition known as a moai. A moai is a small group of friends, usually 5 to 10 people from the same village, who commit to supporting each other for their entire lives. These groups are formed in childhood and serve as a second family, providing a safety net through all of life's ups and downs. The role of the moai is both social and practical. The members meet regularly, often daily or weekly, to chat, share meals, sing, and simply enjoy each other's company. This regular social interaction is a powerful antidote to loneliness and isolation, which are major risk factors for depression and poor health, especially in older age. But the moai goes beyond just friendship. It also provides financial and emotional support. If a member of the moai falls ill, the others will visit, bring food, and help care for their family. If someone faces a financial hardship, like needing to repair their home after a typhoon, the group pools their resources to help. This system creates an incredible sense of security and reduces the chronic stress that comes from worrying about facing life's challenges alone. Another vital aspect of the traditional Okinawan social structure was the deep respect and integration of elders. Older individuals were not sent away to care homes. They remained central figures within the family and the community. They were seen as living treasures, carriers of wisdom, tradition, and history. Elders played an active role in daily life, often caring for their grandchildren, which gave them a continued sense of purpose and usefulness. This multi-generational living arrangement ensured that elders felt loved, needed, and connected, which is fundamentally important for mental health. This strong sense of community and the role of elders are directly linked to their concept of ikigai, or purpose in life. For many older Okinawans, their ikigai was not tied to a past career, but to their present contributions. Their purpose might be teaching a traditional craft to the younger generation, tending their garden to provide food for the family, or simply being the emotional anchor for their moai. This clear and present purpose provides a powerful motivation to stay active and engaged with life, no matter one's age. However, just as with their diet, this traditional social fabric is facing significant strain in the modern era. The forces of urbanization and changing work patterns are beginning to unravel these time-honored connections. In recent decades, many young Okinawans have moved from their rural villages to larger cities like Naha in search of education and better job opportunities. This migration separates families, making the traditional multi-generational household less common. When young people move away, their elders may be left behind, leading to a breakdown in the daily support and connection that was once a given. Modern work life also presents a major challenge. Traditional Okinawan life involved working in the community, often in farming or fishing, with flexible hours and constant social interaction. Today, many people work in offices with long hours and lengthy commutes. This leaves far less time and energy for community gatherings, for moai meetings, or for simply checking in on a neighbor. The very structure of the modern workday can lead to a more individualistic and isolated existence. As a result, the concept of ikigai may also be evolving for the younger generations. While their grandparents found purpose in their community and family roles, younger Okinawans might find their ikigai in their career, in personal hobbies, or in online communities. While these can certainly be valid sources of meaning, it raises the question of whether they provide the same deep, face-to-face, lifelong social support that the traditional moai and village life once did. The weakening of these social bonds is a serious concern, as the loss of community is not just a social issue, but a public health issue. The sense of belonging and mutual support that protected Okinawans from stress and despair for centuries is now being tested by the pressures of the modern, globalized world. The changing landscape of Okinawa involves more than just shifts in diet and social structures. There are also significant environmental and lifestyle pressures that are contributing to the changing health of its people. The very rhythm of daily life has been transformed, moving away from a physically active existence towards one that is increasingly sedentary. Traditionally, life in Okinawa was inherently active. Most people were engaged in farming, fishing, or other forms of manual labor. They tended their personal gardens, which required daily physical effort like digging, planting, and weeding. Walking was the primary mode of transportation, whether it was to a neighbor's house, the local market, or the community center. Even their homes were designed to encourage movement, with floor-level seating that required them to get up and down frequently, which helps maintain lower body strength and flexibility well into old age. This constant, low-intensity physical activity was woven into the fabric of their day and was a key factor in maintaining their health. This lifestyle kept their bodies strong, their metabolism efficient, and their risk of chronic disease is low. In stark contrast, modern life in Okinawa, as in many parts of the world, has become much more sedentary. The rise of the automobile means that people now drive to places they once would have walked to. Many jobs have shifted from the fields to the office, requiring people to sit at a desk for 8 or more hours a day. In the evenings, the traditional social gatherings and community activities are increasingly being replaced by time spent in front of a screen. The widespread availability of televisions, computers, and smartphones has led to a significant increase in screen time for both adults and children. This shift towards a sedentary lifestyle has direct and negative consequences for health. A lack of physical activity contributes to weight gain, muscle loss, and a slower metabolism. It increases the risk of developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer. The daily, natural movement that once protected the Okinawans is being eroded by modern convenience. Beyond personal lifestyle changes, there are also broader environmental factors at play. Like many places around the world, Okinawa is not immune to the effects of pollution and climate change. Changes in ocean temperatures and quality can affect the local fishing industry, a traditional source of food and livelihood. Shifts in weather patterns can impact agriculture, making it more difficult to grow the traditional vegetables that have sustained them for so long. Furthermore, we must consider the unique pressures faced by Okinawa due to its geopolitical significance. The heavy and long-standing presence of military bases on the island is a complex issue with potential health implications. This presence can be a source of chronic environmental stress for local communities. Factors such as noise pollution from aircraft, potential environmental contamination, and social tensions can create a stressful living environment. Chronic stress is known to have a powerful negative impact on physical health, as it can lead to elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Over time, high cortisol levels can contribute to a host of health problems, including high blood pressure, a weakened immune system, and an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. The constant background stress associated with these unique geopolitical pressures is an additional burden on the health and well-being of the Okinawan people, one that their ancestors did not have to face in the same way. All of these factors, the move to a sedentary lifestyle, the rise of screen time, and the unique environmental and social pressures, are creating a perfect storm. This new landscape is challenging the very foundations of health that made Okinawa a beacon of longevity for so long. The environment that once naturally promoted health and activity is now in many ways promoting the opposite. Despite the significant challenges we have discussed, the story of Okinawan longevity is not over. The island is not simply surrendering its heritage to the pressures of the modern world. Instead, we are seeing a story of resilience, adaptation, and a conscious effort to preserve the core wisdom of their ancestors. Across the islands, there are inspiring initiatives and dedicated individuals who are working hard to protect and promote traditional Okinawan health practices. Many local chefs and nutritionists are leading a movement to bring traditional Okinawan cuisine back to the forefront. They are reintroducing the concept of nuchigusui, which translates to food is medicine. These leaders are opening restaurants that specialize in classic dishes, holding cooking classes to teach younger generations how to prepare them, and promoting the use of locally grown traditional ingredients like purple sweet potatoes, goya, and mugwort. By celebrating their culinary heritage, they are reminding people that the healthiest food is not imported or processed, but grown in their own rich soil. Cultural preservation is also playing a key role. Community centers and local groups are actively working to pass down traditional Okinawan practices to the youth. This includes teaching traditional forms of dance, like the vibrant Isa drum dancing, which is not only culturally significant, but also a great form of physical exercise. They are preserving traditional music played on the sanshin, a 3-stringed instrument, and teaching crafts that keep both the hands and the mind active. These activities do more than just preserve culture. They help to rebuild the social bonds and intergenerational connections that have been weakened by modern life. When a grandparent teaches their grandchild a traditional dance, they are sharing more than just steps. They are sharing wisdom, purpose, and a sense of identity. We are also seeing how Okinawans are creatively adapting their lifestyle to find a balance between tradition and modernity. They are finding new ways to incorporate the old wisdom into their new reality. For example, a person who works a sedentary office job all day might make a special effort to tend a small home garden in the evenings and on weekends. This allows them to get some physical activity, connect with nature, and grow some of their own healthy traditional vegetables. The concept of the moai is also being adapted for the 21st century. While traditional village-based moai still exist, new kinds of support groups are forming. These modern moai might be organized around shared hobbies, workplaces, or even through online platforms. The goal remains the same: to create a reliable social and emotional support network that provides a sense of belonging and security in a fast-changing world. Technology itself, while a source of distraction, is also being used to strengthen family and community ties. Grandparents are learning to use video calls to connect with grandchildren who have moved to the city. Community groups use social media to organize events and share information, helping to keep people connected, even when they are physically apart. This shows a remarkable ability to take the tools of the modern world and use them to serve the traditional values of community and connection. So as we look at the complete picture, we arrive at a more nuanced and hopeful perspective on Okinawa's longevity journey. It is true that the statistics have changed and that the younger generations face health challenges that were unknown to their ancestors. The title of the world's longest living people has shifted, and the pressures of modernization are very real. However, the enduring wisdom of the Okinawan way of life has not been lost. The core principles remain as powerful and relevant as ever. Eat a diet rich in plants, stay physically active in your daily life, cultivate strong social bonds, and live with a clear sense of purpose. Okinawa's story is no longer a simple tale of a remote paradise untouched by time. It is now a powerful real-world lesson in the challenges of maintaining health in the modern age, and a testament to the resilience of a culture that is fighting to preserve its most valuable traditions. The journey of the Okinawan people continues, and it is a journey that we can all learn from as we seek to build longer, healthier, and more meaningful lives for ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this fascinating topic. I hope this discussion has given you some valuable insights into the true secrets of a long and healthy life. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you won't miss our future discussions. I want to be very clear that I am not a medical doctor. The information shared in this video is based on extensive research and my experience in helping people with their diets and lifestyle choices. It is intended for educational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. Please always consult with your own healthcare provider for any personal health concerns.